So in the beginning, Ron told me that he wanted me to put on some weight because he didn't want... Originally, he wasn't even thinking about hiring an actor. He was thinking of a real person. So he didn't want it to seem like I was just plucked from Hollywood and then thrown into a shelter. He wanted me to be able to fit in. So I did that, which I didn't mind. I kind of enjoyed. And I did cut my hair, not on film. I did it about a week and a half before we started filming. And it was so liberating. You know, women cut their hair in pivotal points of their life, and this was exactly that, and it really just set the tone for a new character, a new chapter in my life. It's so thrilling being able to look in the mirror and not see yourself, just to completely see a different person, and it really gave me the courage and strength to know that I can't go too far, because you can't tell who I am to begin with. So everything that I could do with my dialect or my walk or my look, it was limitless.
If she wasn't willing to go there, then what I was doing would be cartoonish. It would just be such a characterization. It would feel so unreal and you know, like just untethered. And if I wasn't willing to go there, then what is she reacting against? What is she running away from? You know, like, you know, so I think it was just really complimentary, and I think, so in that sense, I think we're really quite relieved.
A lot of actors do transformations, you know, and sometimes they work or not. The transformation for me that really works for the film is the transformation inside here, that she transformed in her heart and her mind to understand these girls and become one of these characters. And that, you know, took her some time to really get to know the real girls. And as she lived in the shelter, I mean, it was sort of a process, and I know it wasn't easy for her.
It took me at least a month to start feeling comfortable with me again, because even when I went home, I still looked in the mirror, and even without the makeup and tattoos, I still saw my character, and I felt uncomfortable in my body, and I had just known my character for so long, so jumping back into myself was a challenge. I'm lucky, though, that I have amazing friends and that I know how to take care of myself.
When Rosario, the mother, slaps, you know, her daughter, I've seen things like that. I've had confrontations with parents, and it's very hard to see a biological parent just chop their own daughter off and then walk out, you know, and those scenes are the ones that touch me the most.
It was always intense. It was, you know, like, it was fun to be able to kind of try to chat and be whatever off camera, but if you wanted to get this right, you had to commit, and it meant you had to be really uncomfortable even off camera.
And did you get a chance to spend any time in the shelter, or what did you do here?
Just a bit, but you know, I got to meet Kathy, and you know, a lot of my stuff wasn't there. That wasn't really my character's reality. You know, had she had that ability to have met someone like Kathy, and then Apple would have had a really different life, and June would have had a really different life. So for me, actually, my preparation is I've been doing a lot of advocacy work for a lot of years. I'm on the board of V-Day, I'm on the board of Lower East Side Girls Club, I work with Operation USA, and Love Latino, and like all these organizations. My mom used to work at a women's clinic when I was 10 years old called Women's Inc. So she was kind of like a Kathy in that sense. I grew up around that. You know, my mom was a teenage mom, so she got pregnant with me at 16, so I've always grown up with that idea. My biological father stepped out of my life, so it was the same sort of scenario, except in you know, in my reality, my grandmother didn't kick my mom out. And, you know, my father, who's my hero, my dad, married my mom at 1 year old, even though I wasn't his, and said, I'll step in and be your dad. So I didn't grow up fatherless, you know, so I had the early on, like, you know what I mean? It doesn't, the happy ending now, actually, you know, people look at, oh, you're so lucky now. It's like, actually, you know, my happy ending started really early, because I had that support and love since I was little, even though we were statistics. So it's like, for me, all of that compelled me to want to do this, as well as, you know, I've had family members who struggle with crack addiction, specifically crack, you know, and watching how that completely devastated their lives and everyone around them. So I feel like in a lot of ways I was creating a foundation for me to even appreciate this role, let alone be able to get into it. So it spoke to me in a lot of ways, and I felt really grateful that, strangely, in my life and my career and what I do for a living, allowed me to share these stories that were really personal to me in a way that could hopefully be helpful to other people.